I don't know why my audio sounded so trash. We're gonna get it figured out, but I'm
Yeah,
using Eric's mic again, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, it sounds. My ears are not clogged up this week, so it sounds fine.
You're like, I can hear, I can breathe.
Yeah, no, honestly, I don't know what the heck was going on last week with the allergies and such.
I don't know, mine spiked up too. At one point, Eric and I both had like a runny nose and a sore throat, and we're like, oh my god, we got the Rona. And then we're like, wait, it's all dry, never mind.
Yeah, it's I'm super nervous because one of my residents and one of my coworkers tested positive, but we're not showing symptoms.
How did they bring it in?
I don't know.
Because no one's been in and out, right?
Well, the employees can do whatever the heck they want, even though like our director strongly encourages us not to.
I mean,
the resident, I don't know. I can't even, because she was a resident who, I shouldn't say was, she's still okay.
She's not dead.
Yeah, no, she's asymptomatic, so she tested positive but was not displaying symptoms.
That's insane.
She doesn't come out of her room very often, even before her being quarantined.
She must have gotten it before quarantine, and
so?
Yeah, and then she's just been asymptomatic this whole time. Because you can have the antibodies for quite a long time, so she probably just has those. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm glad she's okay.
Yeah,
especially at their age.
So we have to be tested every 2 weeks as healthcare workers. So I need to be tested this week. We have to be tested every 2 weeks, but it's not like we have to be tested every other Wednesday. It's like we have there's 4 days that they have so that people who don't work on Monday and Wednesday can get tested on Tuesday and Thursday. So I'm just going to try to get tested first thing tomorrow, because they'll send out the tests and then I'll hear back in a couple of days.
So you can have a forever headache.
Oh, well, the last one was a mouth swab, so I'm hoping that
I'm sure you're fine.
I hope so.
It's not like you've been in contact with a lot of people.
Except for that resident who I was very close contact with before she tested positive. And then also...
Really?
Every person who comes... Yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to change subjects here because I've been thinking about it for a couple of days.
Yeah, go ahead.
I listened to a podcast called Split the Veil, and and nobody was surprised that my next sentence is a BioWare, Dragon Age and Mass Effect and BioWare podcast.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, they're really cool. I really like it. But the one girl is on maternity leave right now, so they recorded back in March a whole bunch of mini episodes. This first mini episode that she did, or that the two of them did, she talked about Sailor Moon.
Okay.
Wait, but it was she talked about, so the themes of Sailor Moon are, what do you think the themes of Sailor Moon are?
Themes of normal Sailor Moon?
Yeah.
Isn't it just about badass girls kicking ass?
Well, okay, that could be one take. A lot of people are like, oh, it's about love and friendship and magical animals.
I can see that.
So she has a hot take that after I listened to the whole episode, I find it difficult to argue
not
with,
see now.
Right. The hot take that she has is that it's actually the difference between suicide and self-sacrifice.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the episode so you can listen to it. But
okay,
yeah, it's when she first said that, I was like, "What are you
like? Are you
about?
Insane?" Yeah, and
but
then she
the end of the episode,
but she debated herself into your heart.
Honestly, at the end of the episode, I was like, "Okay, I'm on the train with you, Katie,"
which is insane.
Yeah, so shout out to Katie and Jordan at Split the Veil. I like them; they're amazing. But I've been thinking about that for a couple of days.
That's
because I'm so nostalgic about Sailor Moon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love Sailor Moon. It's been a while since I've watched it.
Yeah, me too.
There was also something else you wanted to talk about.
Oh, yes, you are correct. Thank you for reminding me. I want to take a quick second to call myself out and apologize. I learned today, as we're recording this, that calling a transgender or like referring to a transgender person's quote unquote dead name is a big no-no. So I went in and I deleted those 2 bits in my story from last week and reposted the episode, so now it doesn't have that. Amanda Milan is Amanda Milan. We're not going to talk about or reference the name that she was born with from this point on, or any transgender person's name. If they don't tell it to you, it's none of your business. And I learned this and I felt bad about it. I felt awful about it, to the point where I said to Janelle, I've got to bring it up on the podcast, because
you're like, I feel so guilty.
I was like, I've got to call myself out. My guilt was through the roof. So
everything's different. Everyone is different. People do things differently, but typically, yeah, it is not something people usually don't bring up their birth names / dead names. So
so I just want to publicly acknowledge that I did that and apologize. I did delete it out of the last episode, so it has been deleted, will not be heard again. And I, moving forward, have that piece of information and I will take it with me.
I'm proud of you too. And thanks. I'm sorry I didn't say anything, because I guess a lot of the time when we're recording and doing stories, we don't usually typically interrupt each other. And sometimes we do. We're like, hey, by the way, repeat that sentence. You fucked it up. Or like, or like, oh, maybe you should word that differently or whatever. But yeah, I think it was just,
and it's one of those things
I was just listening to the story, and I didn't think about it.
I was just trying to present. Did not occur to me that would be an offensive thing to do. And the last thing I want to do as an LGBT person and an LGBT ally is offend somebody like that, especially when it's something that's so easy to fix, to respect and fix. So that's on me. And moving forward, I will keep that with me.
I'm sure they forgive you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, in general, yeah, we're the type of people that we admit when we've done something wrong. And it's going to happen. Like, we're not going to be perfect all the time. And we're both going to say shit. We're like, that wasn't okay. I've edited out stuff that I'm like, that joke is bad. Where I'm like, someone could misconstrue something, and you're like, I get the context and Angel gets the context, but I'm like, ooh, that doesn't sound right, or like, that's too dark humor, and then I just edited it out.
I absolutely have edited things out where I was like, maybe we shouldn't say that.
Like, maybe that's a little far, but
so
I think there was a thing that I edited out where you were talking. So there's an episode where Angel's dad gives like a first-hand account of that hotel.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, oh, Dr. Father, and I was like, ooh, Dr. Daddy, and I was like, ew, never saying that ever again. Why did I say that out loud? So yeah, so there's a lot of times where we do stuff like that and we're like, oh, thank God for editing. But anyways, what are your lows and highs, Angel?
Okay, well, boy, do I have a laundry list of freaking lows.
Oh God.
Oh my God, it's been a freaking, well, I kind of already mentioned it or referenced it, but here in Florida, the COVID-19 situation is a shit show, and cases are rising everywhere, which includes the 2 confirmed cases in the ALF that I work in, which is just that in and of itself is enough to make me stressed out.
Yeah.
The health department came in on Wednesday, just not because anything specific was going on, but because they are going around to senior living facilities to make sure that everybody's following the rules. They basically told us that for the most part we're doing okay, but we're not allowed to wear the cloth reusable masks anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is a super pain in the butt. They want us to wear a mask for 5 days, which is bullshit. I did go in, because I have to wear paper masks now, I did go ahead and purchase myself a box of 100 masks.
Good, okay. That way you can wear them and actually dispose of them when you have to.
Yeah. I was thinking about, because I still want to wear the reusable masks, but I was thinking about most of my masks have filter pockets in them, so I was thinking about putting the paper ones into the filter pockets, because I've got many masks and they're all really cute.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about doing that, putting them in the filter pockets. We'll see what happens.
It's gonna be interesting one way or another.
Yeah. So it's just basically been because of the the rising cases in the situation, like we were slowly doing very small group activities like bingo with no more than 6 people so that people could social distance while playing bingo, or outside, like an entertainer come and stand outside and play their music so that people could social distance outside, but we've cut that off. So the poor residents are going to start going stir crazy again. So those are my lows.
That's understandable.
Yeah, it's just because of this whole COVID-19 thing. It's just been like working in healthcare is so stressful.
I can only imagine. Like, my mom was a nurse. You know, my ex-husband's family worked in the hospital. And seeing, like, the amount of stress that it gives them, even though, like, they played it off well, like, oh, I'm not stressed out. I'm like, it's definitely affecting you in some way. Like, anybody that works in healthcare, thank you, because I could not imagine.
Yeah, and I'm
That's why I try to be so nice to people who work in healthcare, who work in food and beverage, retail, because I've been there. I know what it feels like, and people treat people so shitty.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So I've said this a million times over the course of these 12 episodes, but I'm not a healthcare professional, but in a sense, or not necessarily in a sense, I do work in an assisted living facility, just not like in a healthcare capacity, but I still support the residents and I still have to abide by the same guidelines that the healthcare professionals do. So even though I'm not, necessarily saving anybody's life or
You're still
providing
working with people.
essential health care, I'm still providing them some kind of care. So I don't know. I don't claim myself to be any kind of important person, but it is a nice and fulfilling job, even though it drives me crazy sometimes.
Yeah, and you're doing what you can.
So my highs for the week.
Well,
boy, I guess it's bad if I have to think about it, huh?
Yeah, that's how I felt the other time, where I was like, my lows, and then I thought for a really long time, and Eric was like, oh my god, it must have been a good week.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is kind of like it's a nice little distraction from the regular life, but Kay, my other half, as I like to refer to her as, she's been playing Pokemon for basically her whole life. She's a big Pokemon fan. She has a very humongous large chunk of the national dex in her like Pokemon home as like a living dex. She's got a handful of shinies. It's impressive to actually look at. I enjoyed watching the Pokemon anime when I was growing up, and I played some of the games, but I was not nearly as avid of a follower. So recently I've been trying to play through the Amazon. What am I talking about?
The Amazon? Yes, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, mine too. I've been trying to play through the Pokemon games, and I am currently playing Soul Silver, which is one of my favorite games because you can have like one of your little Pokemon and follow you around. It's very cute. So that's probably my high, is I've just been playing Pokemon a whole lot. It's nice and relaxing.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so it's not anything big, but sometimes you got to celebrate even the small things.
Yeah, you absolutely do. And I mean, I told you, there was a bunch of stuff that we celebrate in quarantine that seems so stupid, but at the time, it's like, this is all we got, so...
Yeah, exactly. So tell me about your highs and lows.
I would probably say, oh, hello, Eric. Did you go in pajama pants? Oh, are you kidding me? That was so funny, though. I'm recording.
Did you go in pajama pants?
Like, are you kidding me? Whatever. And it's my pajama pants. That's what's even funnier.
Amazing.
My lows. Honestly, it really wasn't that bad of a week. Can you think of anything, Eric? Something I'm like passing by? Eric said there's something that's just not coming to me.
Amazing.
Yeah, dumb people that aren't like using their masks. I'm sure there's something. Jesus. Yeah, I can see your nostrils. Put your fucking mask over your face. I would probably say my low is probably just adapting to a new schedule, and also I finally started feeling better with my B12, so that's good. I was feeling pretty shit for a good part of last week because I was so tired, and I think now it's finally like doing something. Also, it's been really fucking hot. I know what my low is. I gave Jalen, who is my twin brother, my bed yesterday, and it just
Like
started raining. It just started raining. It wasn't raining that hard. It really wasn't a big deal. It was literally just Eric and I. And I can move furniture. It's a little bit difficult with my disability, but your sound's on. But yeah, I mean, moving the bed was fine. So like moving the mattress was fine because it's all foam mattress. There's no springs in it, so we just tacoed it into Eric's car. But the box spring, we couldn't do that. So I would say my low is the fact that we had to strap that baby down. And Eric
on top of Eric's car, which is
no,
it
was
was like
on my car.
or anything.
It was on my
car.
It's
even worse. Your car is like this tiny hatchback.
It was on my car, which was fine. We're literally moved it to like between my apartment and Jalen's apartment is 30 seconds of driving. So it wasn't like we had to go far, but the fucking straps, the first time we tried to put them on, we were like, "Oh, they're not long enough." And we're fucking stupid and we could have just hooked two of them together. We were just like, "Oh, it's not long enough." And then we carried it back inside, delivered the mattress, and we're like, "Let's go try again." And then we're like, "We're both fucking idiots. We can just attach two of them together." We're very stupid. Anyways, we got it figured out, looped it around the car, but every time Eric would be like, "Hold this side," and then he would just start yanking it like hard as fuck, and I was like, "My arm socket," and he was like, "What's going on over there?" And I'm like, "You're hurting me." Like, please stop.
Oh no.
But
what a nightmare.
It's done.
Glad that's all done.
Jalen has a bed. It only took, because we had to do the mattress, the box spring, and the frame all in 3 separate trips. But again, it's a 30-second drive. It was just hot and it started raining. But
right.
I got my desk here, so now I'm using my actual desk right now.
Yay!
Which is the exact same thing as Eric's desk. It was funny, the first time I ever came over here, when we started dating, I was like, "I like your desk." And then he came over to my house and he realized why. It's because of the same one. He was just like, "Oh, thanks." Like, didn't understand why. My high is I mean, there's many. My 6-month anniversary. It was my 6-month anniversary on Friday.
You posted super gross cute on Instagram.
I really don't post that much about Eric, mostly because he doesn't have social media.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna spam, and then when he got home from work, I was like, "I was gross about you today," and he was like, "What?" And then I just like showed him my Instagram story, and he was
the one video of him wearing the face mask at my house,
drinking a mimosa.
I was like,
honestly, we could post that on our Instagram. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I will. I'll do that. I'll do that.
So we've been dating for 6 months now, which is nice. I'm sure people probably think it's more than that based on how we talk about each other, but he got me
in a cute way.
But he bought me a headset for our anniversary, and I bought him a mug, a card game, the card game Utter Nonsense, and then I bought him paintbrushes because he's been telling me he wanted to paint with me. So I bought him paintbrushes, and I brought all my paint and all my canvases over here so that we could paint together finally.
Oh, how sweet.
So he gets to pick a day to do like a paint night. Painting with a twist, but with each other.
But that's cute though. I like that.
Yeah, but that's it. I had a good weekend. A lot of it was just like hanging out. We played Utter Nonsense. So Utter Nonsense is basically Cards Against Humanity, but the black cards are accents or something like pirate or whisper or stuff like that. And then the white cards are just random sentences. And we all woke up the next day with sore throats because we were laughing so hard.
Aww.
It was so fucking fun.
I can't wait till we can see
I would say once we can see each other, I would love to play it.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be hilarious.
But yeah, that's it. Nothing crazy. It was just a nice weekend to be able to chill. We did a lot of productive stuff because I got the rest of my stuff packed. But yeah, it was just productive and fun. That was my weekend. Nothing too bad happened, really. I can't complain. Feeling a lot better. Is it time for the spoops?
I had to mute myself. So, like a week before the COVID tests came positive at my job, my grandfather was in the hospital. He's fine. Everything's, well, he's doing as well as he can be.
I would say.
Yeah, I won't pretend that he's fine, but he's out of the hospital now. He's got a physical therapist coming to help him kind of relearn how to walk. I don't want to get into the details on the podcast, but I went and saw my dad to take, because my parents don't have a whole lot of face masks, but I make face masks.
Yeah.
Which is why I have so many cloth ones. I went to my parents' house for the first time since this quarantine started to take them the face masks, and I kind of just like broke down and like hugged my dad real hard, and I hugged my brother, and that was like a week before the positive COVID tests came back in my ALF. So I muted myself because my dad texted me, because he needs to know if I come back positive, then he's going to have to go get checked at the chief medical officer's office, because he works out at the Space Center. So yeah, so I had to mute myself so that I could have that conversation, but I was listening about
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. But yes, I do believe it is time for the spoops. So hit me with it.
For the spoopies.
Or did you want to do a highlight of a POC?
Yeah, so my person, I had this pulled up earlier, I don't know why I closed it, is Ella Baker. I'm going to read just straight from the site again, because they just really encompass what we're trying to do. Yeah. And also, it's a really awesome thing. Proof that visibility is not necessary to make an impact. Ella Baker is one of history's lesser-known civil rights heroes, yet one of the most important. If Martin Luther King Jr. was the head of the civil rights movement, Ella Baker was its backbone. Born on December 13th, 1903 in Norfolk, Virginia, and raised in North Carolina, Baker cultivated her passion and desire for social justice at a young age. Her grandmother, who was a slave, once told her a story of being whipped for refusing to marry a man of her slave owner's choosing, fueling Baker's desire for systematic change and justice for her people. In the 1940s, she developed a grassroots approach as an NAACP field secretary to gather and convince Black people of the group's message, a vision that holds true today, that a society of individuals can and should exist without discrimination based on race. In 1957, Baker moved to Atlanta to help King form the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, through which she facilitated protests, built campaigns, and ran a voter registration campaign called the Crusade for Citizenship. Baker did grow frustrated at the lack of gender equality within the group and came close to quitting in 1960, but on February 1st, 4 Black college students sat at a lunch counter at Woolworth's in Greensboro, North Carolina. After being denied service, they were asked to leave. Instead, they refused to leave, and a movement was born. A graduate of Shaw University in Raleigh, North Carolina, who during her time there often challenged university policies, Baker viewed young people as one of the strongest and most important aspects of the civil rights movement. Inspired by the courageous sit-ins, Baker laid the framework for the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, which is SNCC. SNCC became one of the most important organizations in American civil rights history because of its commitment to effecting change through freedom rides and its particular emphasis on the importance of voting for African Americans. Baker earned the nickname Fundi, which is Swahili for a person who teaches a craft to the next generation. And as a dedicated change agent, Baker taught young people that their spirit was essential to the movement. As long as they had the audacity to dream of a better, equal, and brighter tomorrow through the means of a relentless, peaceful protest and endurance, a fairer society awaited them. Baker unfortunately died on January 13th, 1986, on her 83rd birthday. Which is insane. I can't imagine dying on your birthday.
Yeah. Wow.
But I never had heard of that.
Yeah.
This is why. This is why we do this, because they don't talk about that shit.
Yeah, I'm just like speechless, because people who make such big changes and you never even know their names, you know
how that happens. But
yeah,
okay.
That's so yeah, I will be reading to you again from the Undefeated article about an individual by the name of Henrietta Lacks, because she was the subject of medical experiment that is still saving lives today. Doctors stole her cells. Henrietta Lacks was an accidental pioneer of modern-day medicine. Her cells are saving lives today, even though she died in 1951. Lax was a 31-year-old mother of 5 when she was diagnosed with cervical cancer. Just months before her death, doctors at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore sliced pieces of tissue from her cancerous tumor without her consent, in effect stealing them. It was another instance of decades of medical apartheid and clinical practices that discriminated against blacks. Lax was not a slave, but parts of her cancerous tumor represent the first human cells ever bought and sold. Her cells, known among scientists as HeLa, were unusual in that they could rapidly reproduce and stay alive long enough to undergo several tests. Lax cells, now worth billions of dollars, live in laboratories across the world. They played an important part in developing the polio vaccine, cloning, gene mapping, and vitro fertilization. The HeLa cell line has been used to develop drugs for treating herpes, leukemia, influenza, and Parkinson's disease. They have been influential in the study of cancer, lactose digestion, sexually transmitted diseases, and appendicitis. Lax's story is an example of the often problematic intersection of ethics, race, and medicine, a link to the dark history of exploitation of and experimentation on African Americans that ranges from the Tuskegee syphilis study to a 19th century doctor experimenting with gynecological treatments on slave women without anesthetics.
I had heard about her through some medical stuff that I was researching, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
One, really cool what they've done. Really shitty what they didn't ask her, and I'm sure she probably would have been like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I think that, well, it's like when we were talking about trans black lives, like trans black women are also seeing, and black pregnant women are seeing a surge, like an astronomical surge in COVID cases right now because they're just not given access to the treatment and to the
which
medical
is an ass. Like, it's so terrible.
So, all right, hit me with some spoops, my friend.
Okay, so wow, my mouth was unusually moist for a moment there. I am so sorry, and I'm keeping it in. Anyways, that was disgusting.
Yuck.
So, some of this is from Wikipedia, some of this is from a couple other places, and I'll cite those later, but some of the general info I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia, just because it's the most accurate, honestly. Which I know people are like, Wikipedia is not accurate, but I looked it up. It is for this specific thing.
Yeah.
So
Wikipedia's gotten better since we were in high school.
Yeah, like it's pretty accurate now. They're pretty good at catching stuff that isn't. But I'm going to be talking about the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel.
Or just I don't think I've ever heard of this.
Oh, really?
I don't think
it's so hard picking things that neither one of us has heard of.
Yeah, I know.
So the Banff Springs Hotel sits at 405 Spray Avenue near
Does
the
Banff stand for badass motherfucker?
It's BAN as in Nancy FF. Get it right.
So
it's Banff.
Badass
Nancy fucking fucker. I don't know. That's all I got.
I have an aunt named Nancy, but she's the worst person ever. So or maybe depending on how bad this is, we can name it after a Nancy. Sure.
There you go. So it sits at 405 Spray Avenue near the southern boundary of Banff, a resort town within Banff National Park. The hotel property is bounded by roadways and natural waterways. 2 roadways bound the hotel to the north, Bow River Avenue and Rundle River Avenue, while Spray Avenue bounds the hotel from the west, and to the east, hotel property is bounded by Spray River. So there's a river that goes right near it. It's like right on the river. And
yeah, I'm looking at pictures of it right now. It's really pretty.
It's super pretty.
Wow. And
so
it's
the
like
river
right in front of a mountain, so it's got a really pretty backdrop. How cool.
It's awesome. And the hotel sits at the like cross section of 2 rivers. So it's really, really pretty. It's located within the Rocky Mountains range, and it's about 4,639 feet above sea level. So it's pretty decently elevated.
That's the nosebleed section, my guys.
Yeah. When I lived in Vegas, on the way there, my ankles and legs got so swollen from the elevation. It's so uncomfortable, and I could not. There was just elevation is very strange. If you, especially living in Florida for most of your life, and then going to a place that's super elevated, your body's just like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
You want to know the weird thing, to be a little off topic for a second? I went when my brother was stationed in California.
Mm-hmm.
He was stationed at Fort Irwin, California, which is in South California, but it's like 2 hours north of LA. And the weird thing about it was he was like, at the elevation we're at right now, we are higher than plane elevation like in Florida. And I was like, what?
What?
Like that was like I don't remember what the elevation was, but we were more higher above sea level on the ground than we were
On
like
a plane.
than we were on a plane going back to Florida or coming from Florida.
Ew.
Not wild.
I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it is built around Tunnel Mountain. The hotel property looks across the valley towards Mount Rundle, and other peaks located near the hotel is Cascade Mountain, Mount Norquay, Stony Squaw Mountain, and Sulphur Mountain. And it is within a national park, so it's near a lot of different attractions and landmarks. So it's pretty cool. And there's also a hot spring right next to it. So a really cool vacation place. It's beautiful if you look it up. It's in Canada.
Yeah.
I should have said this, but it is in Canada, in Alberta. So very, very cool. So it is called the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel now, but it was just Banff Springs Hotel. It is a historic hotel, and the entire town, including the hotel, is just situated in the national park. It was opened in 1888 by the Canadian Pacific Railway as one of the earliest, like, Canada's Grand Railway hotels. And the property has kind of gone through a lot of different changes in the last little bit of time. The original hotel structure was designed by Bruce Price, and then another structure was completed in 1914. In 1926, a fire destroyed the original structure of the property, and then it was replaced in 1928. So the building was kind of designated as a National Historic Site of Canada in 1988 because it's over 100 years old now, which means it really haunted. So
I was gonna say there are many ghosts.
Yeah, it's very, very haunted, but let me talk to you about the hotel a little bit more. So the hotel is made of two main buildings, an 11-story tower, and then a main block of the hotel. Designed by Walter S. Painter, who constructed the tower building and the center wing. It began in 1911 and was completed in 1914. The main block of the hotel was started in 1927, finished in 1928, and replaced the wooden hotel that kind of burned down. The original structure was a 5-story building, able to accommodate about 280 guests, and on June 24th, 1988, the hotel buildings were designated as, like I said, a National Historic Site of Canada. And after the original wooden structure burnt down in 1926, John W. Orrick, an engineer with Canadian Pacific Railway, was charged with designing its replacement. The replacement building, the main block of the building, consisted of the north and south wing, and the tower was added in 1911, and the replacement structure is actually made of steel frame now, thank God, and clad in Rundle limestone. Orrick based elements of the new building with general styles of original wooden building designed by Price, meaning that the main block also featured elements found on the chateaus of the Loire Valley in France, and as a result, the main block features massive wall surfaces, steep copper roofs, gables. It's a very, very beautiful building. Please look at pictures of this place.
Yeah, I'll post I'll see if I can find like a link to a nice picture and I'll post it in the show notes.
Yeah, it's really pretty. And the original wooden structure on which was facing the north and south wing designs are based featuring architectural elements drawn from Scottish architecture. And the blend of architectural styles between like the French style and the Scottish style was kind of used for a lot of these hotels in Canada. I don't know why, just was the time. It was built with a lot of steep pitched roofs and corner turrets. It looks very like castle-y, is what it looks like.
I was about to say, it looks like a castle. It's very big and looks like a
huge.
castle. Yeah.
And yeah, it's super pretty. And it has like stone masonry in the building. But yeah, the remains of the burnt building were removed in 1926 in order to make way for the north and south wings. The center wing tower has a large limestone structure on it, which was also influenced by that Scottish architecture, and the building kind of originally was an extension of the wooden structure. And unlike the other wings of the hotel, the center tower featured a lot of... Actually, The center tower featured no French medieval architectural elements. A lot of the windows are flat, rounded, and looked kind of different because the other ones are kind of pointed. But very cool. Anyways, the hotel now includes 757 guest rooms. Wow, ghost rooms. I mean, that too. But
I was about to say.
I mean, ghost rooms too. But guest rooms and
petition
suites.
for like haunted hotels instead of being called
ghost
guest rooms, to call them ghost rooms. You and I are the first two names on that petition.
Yes, please. I'm sure there's many people that would. But yeah, it has 757 rooms, and the hotel also houses a number of different kind of spaces, like conference rooms, weddings areas, and other social stuff. They also have the Alberta dining room.
I should have gotten married there.
Yeah, all the way in Canada. I love you, but I did not have the money to go to Canada. Neither did anybody else.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, it has a lot of different spaces, including the Alberta dining room, the Alhambra dining room, the Cascade Ballroom, Mount Stephen Hall, the Riverview Walk. So it's very pretty. The hotel property features outdoor event spaces, including a terrace garden. This probably would be a beautiful place to get married, if it wasn't for all the fucking ghosts. So
that's what I'm saying. No,
but
hell yeah, ghosts
in the daytime, I'm sure it's fine. They also have a ton of restaurants or other food stuff. As of December 2017, 12 restaurants operate within the property, and restaurants within the hotel include the 1888 Chop House, the Samurai Sushi Bar, the Walled House, and the Rundle Lounge. So there's also like parts of the hotel that offer afternoon tea. They have a locally sourced market called Stock Food and Drinks.
Other facilities.
It is a very bougie hotel. Other facilities located on the hotel property include a bowling alley, 5 tennis courts, a swimming pool.
Okay, here's the real question. I'm sorry to interrupt. How much does this hotel cost per night?
Oh, I'll show you. It's
Are you getting there?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look it up again because I think I wrote it down and I think it was incorrect. But
okay, that's fine.
So 5 tennis courts, a swimming pool, and a 27-hole golf course is there.
27.
I don't know.
That's 2 golf courses.
Yep.
Right? No.
18 plus 18. Wow, we can't do math.
27.
No, I don't know why it's 27. There's not a lot of.
Is golf different in like other countries?
No. Not at all. And it has a spa. But yeah, let me look it up really quick because I can't remember how much the hotel costs. Oh, fucking goddamn. That's more than I remember it being. 499 Canadian dollars a night.
Yo.
And the bed and breakfast package is like $60 more.
Jeez.
But like, it is
conversion.
A beautiful hotel. It's not that much less.
Really?
No. Canadian and American are really close.
Yeah, they are. Oh, it's $367.
That's still a lot.
I know.
But
that's just within my budget.
Yes, of course. That is like 2 car payments for
me. Yeah, with my classy barefoot
my
wine.
Bougie. Oh yeah. My Target wine sitting next to me. My fancy boxed wine. Yeah, no. I would love to go. But, so, the original building was 8-shaped, including an octagonal center hall with an additional wing extending from it. The building was clad in shingles with stone accents. The original structure cost $250,000, and a mistake was made by the builder. That kind of changed the intended orientation of the building, turning its back on the mountain. So this building included more than 100 bedrooms centered on a 5-story rotunda, and in addition to the 1902 expansion that renovated the building too, added more than 200 rooms. So it expanded quickly, basically.
Yeah, I dare say.
Which makes sense. Like, railways change all of North America.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it happened very quickly. A lot of people have visited the hotel, like King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, and they actually visited the hotel in 1939 in their Royal Tour of Canada, and then from 1942 to 1945, the hotel was actually shut down in an effort to free up labor for the war. So, very nice.
Yeah. Tell me about the ghosts.
I would say, I think it's enough about the history of the hotel and the architecture. Because we know our fans like architecture.
Yeah, really.
I mean, it's really cool. So some of these stories.
My dad actually, he listens to the podcast. He likes to learn about architecture.
Okay, well this is for
he's
you.
Super. Yeah.
So
this is for you, Dad.
This is for you, Dad. All the architecture is just for you. So there are some famous ghosts that I want to get into because they are very popular. People have talked about them the most, so I'll talk about the main ghosts.
Okay.
So the most popular ghost that is talked about is the bride. So
okay. There's always
she's actually even featured on her own stamp and coin. So
really?
Yeah, she's on a Royal Canadian Mint in Canada Post, which is fucking amazing, and it's a collector coin. It's a very beautiful thing. It's just fucking weird. Like that would never happen in America.
Canada coin bride.
I would look up Royal Canadian Mint collector coin and stamp and just type in like Banff bride or something like that. It's really eerie looking, but it's really cool. Like I would get this framed and hang it in my house kind of thing.
Oh,
it's cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'd hang this on my wall too.
Right? Isn't it cool?
Kay would not be a fan, but it's cool looking.
So,
okay.
The story of the Ghost Bride kind of dates back to the late 1920s. The story kind of goes that the young couple's wedding day, she was all dressed up in her gown, and she was walking down one of the hotel's marble staircases. Either something scared her, or she caught her heel in the hem of her wedding dress. Others say she like hit a candle. Whatever the fuck happened, she fucking fell down those steps, and she died. So since then, the hotel staff and guests have been, telling people like, I see a veiled figure moving up and down the stairs. I see a figure in a wedding dress dancing in the ballroom. Kind of just sad that she never got to have her first dance with her husband, which is really sad.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that they made a coin and stuff out of it because that means they acknowledged that it happened.
Yeah.
I can't find like what her name was or anything like that, but it's still cool.
Yeah.
Then we have Sam McCauley, which is a Scotsman who was the head bellman during the 60s and 70s, and he had been circulating around the hotel since his passing in 1975. Supposedly, he's kind of a helpful spirit, and most stories involving him mention that he's provided to staff or guests in some way. One incident involving two elderly women called the bell desk for assistance after they found out their key didn't work, and the regular bellman was occupied and didn't respond for 15 minutes. So by the time he had arrived at the door, it was unlocked, and one of the women said, "Oh, but the older guy in a plaid jacket let me in." And they were like, "What?" So she described him, and they were like, "Oh my god, that's Sam, but he's dead." So
did he just die of natural causes?
Yeah, he just got old. Yeah, he just got old. But yeah, so a lot of people have reported seeing him in his old office, which is now a guest room, and on the mezzanine floor. And they see a lot of like places of him being on the 6th, 7th, and 9th floors of the hotel. A lot of cold spots, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then
I like helpful ghosts.
Yeah, like he's not scary. He's just like, your key doesn't work. Let me let you in, sweetheart. Like, sorry about that.
Oh my god.
I also found this. I don't know if these stories are legitimate, but they seem legitimate. There's a site that I found called Taxi Mike, and he has like a ghost section, and people have emailed him stories of their experiences. So I thought I would talk about them. There's one email that's super long, but it's pretty cool.
Okay.
I'll read some of the shorter ones first. So someone had emailed to him, "I worked 2 summers at the hotel in 79 to 80. A veteran housekeeper told me she'd seen a wandering bride go in and out of the vacant rooms on many occasions, and a waiter told me he had seen chairs moving in the dining room by themselves. I recall one night walking through an employee tunnel and hearing steps behind me, but no one was there." Another email was, "Hi, Mike. I stayed at the hotel for a few days at the end of February 2017. We were in a room on the 3rd floor. One night I woke up and someone was playing with my feet. My vision is
no.
not the greatest without
No.
my contacts, so I did not see anybody. It sort of creeped me out. The next day, someone in the group told us about the bride that died at the hotel, and I told them my story. Has anyone reported a ghost playing with their feet? Just curious.
No.
Which is pretty funny.
No. The second anybody touches my feet, the shoes are on, and I'm out the door.
I would be like,
goodbye.
oh my god, you have my feet.
Listen, I don't like when live people I can see are touching my feet.
Let alone a ghost.
No. Hard pass.
Eric likes to like massage my feet, and every time I'm like, I'm gonna kick you in the mouth. I can't control it.
Yeah.
But also, ugh. So another email. I went to Banff Springs this year in June 2013 with my mom, dad, and my younger brother. I didn't know anything about the ghost because my family knows I get incredibly freaked out when I think of hauntings or anything scary. I was there for 3 nights, and the first night I fell asleep right away with no problems. In the middle of the night, I woke up and saw a man in all white with white hair. Maybe the bellman Sam, in parentheses, standing by my bed staring at me. I thought I was seeing something, so I kind of rubbed my eyes and looked up again, and he was still looking at me. But as soon as we made eye contact, he sprinted out of the room, which is terrifying.
No!
But out of the room towards the side, the window, instead of going through the door, I thought nothing of it because I thought I was seeing things, so I tried to fall back asleep with no luck. In the morning, at breakfast, I told my mom what I had seen, and she laughed and told me that the hotel is known for being haunted and that I should look it up. But I refused to look it up until I was home. I saw no other signs of the ghost for the rest of my trip. I just thought I would share my story, which is terrifying. He was like, oh shit, and he just like ran out.
Picturing an old man sprinting, and that's very funny to me.
It's really funny. This one was cool. I just stumbled upon your site, Mike, and wanted to share something that happened to me. My fiance and I took a tour of the Banff Springs last fall as we were considering it as a wedding venue. After the official tour from their coordinator, we decided to loop back and explore a little on our own. We were going down the staircase that the bride allegedly fell on. My fiance, a couple stairs ahead of me, when I overstepped myself and my heels slipped off the stair, sure that I was going to fall, I went to grab onto the closest thing to me and yelped. But before I had the chance to make contact with anything, I felt a pair of arms behind me grab my waist and pull me back onto balance. I definitely was pitched too far forward by that point to correct myself, and the force seemed to just set me back up straight without any overcorrection. I'm not one of those people that generally believes in ghosts, but the physics of the whole scenario just seemed impossible, and part of me can't help but think maybe that bride found a chance to help another one. Isn't that cool?
Aww. Yeah. I mean, terrifying that you like almost slipped on the same thing, but at the same time that bride was like, nope, not another one today, guys.
We're not having another death in this house.
Yeah. Aw.
There's some cool things too. Some pictures and stuff of like ghost sitting, which is really cool. Like ghost apparitions. Okay. Also, Marilyn Monroe stayed at the hotel. Oh. There's a picture of her sitting in a chair there, and there's little balls of light in the picture. 3 of them. Oh. And you can find the picture. I can like send you this whole page, but if you scroll down far enough, there's a picture of just Marilyn, and it looks like there's little orbs in the picture. Send me the link, it's really cool. There's also a couple pictures of some other ladies that were... I can read this, but it's really cool. Let me read this one too. This is a whole page, and honestly, you can link it. You can read it for yourself. But I think these accounts are cool because there's just people that have just like sent in stuff. They're 2 different emails. So my wife and I spent a couple hours checking out the hotel the second week of October 2012. I did see the spot where the one picture on your site was taken with the 2 white orbs above the picture with the children, and it was actually just plaster over some nail holes, and the plaster was not completely removed. We did go up to the honeymoon suites that were under renovations and got an interesting picture that I have attached. Not sure what it is. We did also make it behind the wall of the previous door to room 873. I was too nervous being there that I forgot to snap any photos. It has been extended from room 875, which is currently under renovations, along with the rest of the 8th floor. It would be nice to see some kind of article or literature about the events that happened at the hotel other than just rumors. You can definitely feel a presence in the hotel in certain areas, mainly on the upper floors. On October 10th, 2012, my wife and I took a tour of the hotel like we always do when we're in Banff. We toured a little further than we normally do this time because of the stories I looked up on the internet. Long story short, we went to the ninth floor to look around. We were up there for about 15 minutes taking pictures and snooping around a little when we heard some commotion back at what must have been the service room or holding area. We went past the room, which the door was wide open, closing slowly, and sounds of someone doing something inside. I figured we would scurry past undetected and got to the elevator and out of there. Later, as my wife and I discussed the day we were talking about the ninth floor, she told me of the black man that stood in the doorway of the service room and smiled as we passed, wearing a white cook's outfit and black pants. I looked in that door the entire time we had visual access to the room and did not see anyone in that room and figured we were clear of snooping around. My wife tells me that man was smiling in the door as we passed the entire time. So she saw someone, but he didn't.
Oh, that's creepy.
That's so creepy, right? There's people like walking down the staircases. There's a lot of stories on this website, and if there are a lot of pictures with like flashes of light, orbs, I don't know. Some of them look like just flash, but still cool to look at. But yeah, it's really, really cool. Take a look at it. It's very haunted. But yeah, that is the story of the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel.
Wow, that's
Alberta,
a fun
Canada.
story.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other deaths, but there's not any like talked about recorded deaths, so those are the only ones I could find.
Oh, that's fun. I like that story. That's good. I like that one. I hadn't heard of it before, so.
Me neither. I was like looking around on the internet and I was like, I'm trying to think of things that I haven't heard of. Like, yes, I don't mind talking about things I've heard of, but it's more fun when I research things I haven't.
Yeah, no, that's a fun story. I like that one. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. What do you got for me?
Okay, so there's a few things going on in the gaming world today, and one more that I found after I finished doing my notes, so I have it on my phone, so I'll just probably read a little bit of that article, but we'll start from the beginning. Sorry, I actually had to clear my throat. Halo 3, considered to be the best in the Halo series.
I'm sorry, I got really excited.
Has up until now only been available on console. On July 6th, 343 announced that Halo 3 will release on July 14th, so that's when this episode comes out this past Tuesday.
I cry.
It will be available on PC through the Master Chief Collection. So far, they have released 3 of the Halo games on PC. Halo Reach was released on PC. Yep. On December 3rd, 2019. Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary was released on March 3rd, 2020. And then Halo 2 Anniversary was released on March 12th, 2020. The Master Chief Collection features 4K high-def resolution and uncapped frame rates.
It's really awesome seeing what they've done with it. Halo 3 still is one of my most played games ever.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we have the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
So every time we play it, you can actually switch between what it used to look like and what they've reskinned it like. Oh my god.
I haven't played Halo in a really long time, but when I was younger, I wasn't really allowed to play video games, but Halo was one of those games that like people would play like when there was a bunch of people at the house, and that was like one game that for whatever reason I was actually really good at. Even though
it's
I was
really
like,
fun.
I don't get to play video games, like we have a SNES at home.
I fucking love Halo.
Yeah, no, I also am really nostalgic about it because before I was really into gaming, it was the one game that I was like pretty decent at.
Plus, I love the like lore behind Halo and the story. Oh, yeah. I think it's really cool. I'm supposed to get a matching Halo tattoo with Jalen.
Oh, that's cute. You guys went to the Halo convention last year.
I went with my cousin.
Oh, right.
He was supposed to come with me, but I think he had to work or something.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
Which was unfortunate.
Yeah. Halo 3 will go live on Steam on Tuesday, July 14th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The release of Halo 4 is currently unknown, but I'm guessing it's going to be...
They've been doing that forever, where they're like, we don't know. and you're like, can you fucking just please tell us for the love of God?
Yeah. So that's that first bit of news, is just that Halo is coming out on PC. So the next piece of information is actually quite interesting. Apple's AR kit and iPhone's True Depth camera have made it possible for motion capture to happen through the Unreal Engine through an app on the Apple Store called Live Link Face.
Oh.
Yep, and you can mocap with little more than the iPhone's front-facing camera. Going beyond development, streamers will benefit from the app's ability to adjust when a performer is seated at a desk or standing. This technology will also make the mocap head mount that you see a thing of the past. Okay. So I'm just going to read to you a little excerpt from the UnrealEngine.com article about this.
Okay.
The app's tracking leverages Apple's AR kit and the iPhone's True Depth front-facing camera to interactively track a performer's face, transmitting this data directly to the Unreal Engine via live link over a network. Designed to excel on both professional capture stages with multiple actors in full motion capture suits as well as a single artist's desk, the app delivers expressive and emotive facial performances in any production situation. So the app was developed and released by Epic Games and is available now in the Apple Store. And you can download it for free. I looked it up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that's really cool. I think that that's really interesting.
That is interesting.
Because the Unreal Engine has not been, it's really pretty, the gaming in there, but it's not necessarily known for
that type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not necessarily known for realistic. Anytime something's done in the Unreal Engine, it's always a little bit cartoony. At least that's how I feel about it. So the fact that you can mocap now for the Unreal Engine is super cool, I think.
Yeah, honestly.
So this next bit of information is from Microsoft. Microsoft confirmed earlier this week on July 6th that they will be holding their first Xbox Series X party games showcase on July 23rd, which is a Thursday. The presentation, which will be in the form of a live stream, because we're still not out of quarantine for all of you people.
Not yet.
It will feature Halo Infinite, which will be a launch title for the new gen console. It's currently unclear on whether the stream will focus exclusively on first-party studios or if it will include third-party titles. But back in May, there was a third-party presentation that did take place as part of Xbox's 2020 program series, so people are like, it could be either way.
Okay.
The presentation in May included several in-engine quote-unquote gameplays from games like The Ascent, Assassin's Creed, and Scarlet Nexus, but there were no extended demonstrations, so again, that's why people are like, could go either way.
Yeah, exactly.
And on July 23rd, the stream will start at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
Next piece of information. According to leaks coming from Sony's Hong Kong PlayStation Store on Friday, so the day before yesterday, the 10th, and the subsequent 11-second trailer that Ubisoft UK and the official Far Cry Twitter tweeted, the next Far Cry game has all but been announced, and it stars Giancarlo Esposito as the quote-unquote dictator of Yara. Anton Castillo is intent on restoring his nation back to its former glory by any means, with his son Diego following in his bloody footsteps.
Interesting.
That sounds a little bit like what America is going in right now.
Honestly.
Vote in November, my friends. Esposito is known for his role as Gus Fring in Breaking Bad. The leak listing also revealed that Far Cry 6 will appear on both current and next-gen consoles and offer a free upgrade path for digital purchases from PlayStation 4 to PS5. So the Ubisoft Forward stream happens today as we're recording this, July 12th, and it was expected that there would be more information regarding the game during the stream. I did not have the chance to watch it, but I do know that Far Cry 6 is set to release on PS4 and PS5 on February 18th, 2021. So happy birthday to you and Kay.
Yay!
Let me read this next one that I found after I finished my notes. This goes a little bit along what you had talked about last week with Maxime, what was that fucker's last name? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. He's an asshole. This article, I'm reading it straight from GameSpot.com. Multiple senior Ubisoft executives stepped down following abuse allegations. Serge Haskowit, Yanis Mallet, and Cecil Cornett have all been removed from positions at Ubisoft amidst allegations of abuse and toxic work culture at the company. So this was posted this morning at 10:47 Pacific. In a statement issued to GameSpot, not GameStop.
GameSpot.
In a statement issued to GameSpot, Ubisoft confirmed that the departures, saying that Hascott has, quote, chosen to resign from his position as Chief Creative Officer effective immediately. Although he may not be as public-facing as other Ubisoft executives, Hascott held significant influence within the company, essentially having the power to greenlight game development projects and also make key creative decisions. Being on to the next. I'm not going to read the whole article, but I am going to read little snippets. Yanis Mallet, who is managing director of Ubisoft's Canadian studios, will be stepping down and leaving Ubisoft too. Ubisoft's statement reads, quote, the recent allegations that have come to light in Canada against multiple employees make it impossible for him to continue in this position. Much like Hascott, Mallet was accused of enabling a culture of abuse that created a pervasively toxic working environment. Finally, global head of HR, Cecil Cornett, will be replaced. According to the statement, she, quote, decided to step down from this role as she believes it is in the best interest of the company's unity. Reports coming out of Ubisoft in the lead-up to the recent allegations suggested that Cornett also played a role in allowing work culture to deteriorate and for those in power to continue abusing their authority. So, that's not the whole article, but I'll post a link to it in the show notes. But, yep, more people getting called out, losing their jobs, leaving companies. I'm here for it. So the last thing I have, there's a couple of smaller bits of news, but my favorite bit of news is in this little compilation, but we'll get there. Ghost of Tsushima officially releases on July 17th, so that's today when this episode comes out. I don't have anything more on that other than
you're like, that's it.
On today. While I was doing my notes, I got distracted on Twitter. And found that Blizzard and Overwatch had tweeted that they are releasing a new collection of Overwatch music that's being accompanied by Sigma's Maestro Challenge starting on July 14th. So we're gonna have to hop on.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Listen. I love the Overwatch music. Like
Same.
Know, I had Overwatch music at my wedding, so
I forgot about that.
I think we were doing a lot of pictures during that time, but yeah, I had Overwatch music at like for cocktail hour and I think during dinner too.
I would love to do that.
So
when I get married again, I cannot wait to have just the nerdiest fucking music mixed in with cool shit too, but like
I mean,
Harry Potter, Star Wars. I don't know.
Like I walked amazing. Like you guys walked down the aisle to music from Final Fantasy. I walked down the aisle to music from Phantom of the Opera.
The nerd lives strong in all of us.
Yeah, the
I don't know what I would walk down to now.
The cocktail hour was entirely video game music, like from beginning to end. I still have that playlist on my Spotify.
Honestly, we were taking pictures and stuff, so I didn't hear a lot of it.
Yeah, I heard it kind of from the outside, but yeah.
I'm sure everyone was like, hell yeah, turn that shit up. I'm ready, bulb it.
I had a couple people come up to me and be like, you would play video game music at your wedding, and I was like, I don't know why you're surprised.
Do you not know me? Like, yeah, like, you've only known me forever, why are you surprised?
Yeah, exactly.
At my wedding, there was a bunch of, like, emo and, like, scary stuff, like, everyone had walked into Ghostbusters.
Oh, how fun.
Like, when they announced us as husband and wife.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever brought this up on the podcast. When I was married to my ex-husband, our wedding, we got married on Halloween. And we all walked into Ghostbusters when they announced us, so it was like, when there's something strange in the neighborhood,
how fun.
Who you gonna call? And it was so fucking fun. Don't regret having a Halloween wedding.
Yeah, no, that was. I'm sure it was a good time. That was before
I know. I'm so sad because it was like 2 months before I knew you.
I know. That's okay. I'll be at the next one.
There you go. That's so terrible. You're like, it's okay. I'll be at your second one.
I don't mean it like that.
No, it's so funny though. I actually saw Joey today. He's doing fine.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I can't wait to like plan another wedding again one day. And to like really do it different, because like obviously people change. Like I'm very different from when I was 20 and I got married to when I'm probably going to be married again. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, I'll be there every step of the way. You know I will.
You'll be a bridesmaid. God damn it.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry. You're like, oh,
that was aggressive.
Oh, fuck. Should I get?
No, I'm ready.
Should I? Okay. I mean,
yeah, nope, it's good. Yeah, so I had Overwatch music playing at my wedding, and that was really exciting. And so I'm excited to have Overwatch music collection. And this Sigma's Maestro challenge also comes with a really cool like tuxedo skin, legendary skin for him. He looks like a conductor of an ensemble, so that's really cool. So I guess on Tuesday we're gonna have to play Overwatch, huh?
Hell yeah! I've been playing on PC, so I have to play on.
I was like, you're gonna have to play on console for me,
which is fine. And I've been trying to convince Joey to play with us too, and because he's been on and off playing, and he was like, "I'll think about it." I'm like, "Can you just?" I was like, "Kay and Angel want to play with you," and he was like, "Okay." So he might join us.
Joey, we love you too, man. So this is my favorite bit of news. I saw it on Twitter and I saw it on the PlayStation blog. Horizon Zero Dawn / Horizon Forbidden West has a whole new line of merchandise coming out.
Oh,
I'm talking apparel from Insert Coin, comics published by Titan Comics, a board game, music collection. Janelle.
This is insane.
I don't have enough money for all of the things that I want, but it's I'm so excited. So I need to have the comics, you know I do, and I need to have Horizon Zero Dawn West themed clothing.
Hell yeah.
I'm so excited. This was like when I saw this on Twitter, I literally was laying in bed and Kay was sleeping next to me and I was like,
and she was like, what's going on?
Well, no, Kay sleeps through everything, but the cats were like, what?
They're like, hello? What are you doing?
I was like, ah!
Why is mom freaking out?
Yeah, no, that's, of all of the news this week, that's my favorite bit because I fucking love Horizon Zero Dawn. So, I'm pumped for it.
That's so
and it's
exciting.
called, I don't know if I said, but the line of merchandise is called Horizon Raw Materials. So, and that's encompassing of everything that I just said. So, yeah, you can just Google that, and the first thing that comes up is the PlayStation blog. Look at, it's so pretty. Beanies and jackets and t-shirts.
I can't fucking wait.
I want to play the board game really badly. Like, we are board game fans. So, I really want to play the board game, but it's so fucking expensive.
You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's available for pre-order now, but the board game. Are you ready to hear?
Oh god.
It's
my butthole's ready.
USD.
I know. Who spends that much on a board game?
Oh, I might save for a little while. And then of course there's comics, which are reasonably priced for comic at $8. There's a whole little documentary or mini doc series about creating the Horizon Zero Dawn comics and creating the Horizon Zero Dawn video games, which I think you can just find on YouTube. Or no, I'm sorry. It's here on the PlayStation blog. But yeah, I'm just excited about this.
I'm excited too, but that's fucking expensive.
I know. Maybe we'll go all in and like have a communal Horizon Zero Dawn board game. Could you imagine?
Oh my god.
We just have to have like shared custody, like divorce.
This is my turn. This is my weekend. It's my weekend. Fuck you.
Oh my god. Yeah, so that's all the news I have this week. We're going to be starting
streaming soon.
A set streaming schedule. Yep.
Yes. That thing.
We're going to be screaming on stream.
It's just us.
I think that's going to be the title of this episode.
It's pretty true though. A lot of me playing Overwatch, I'm either dead silent or yelling.
Yep. So we're going to be screaming on stream.
So please look out for us.
I'm naming half of this episode Screaming on Stream, just so you
know. My Twitch is Janel Nelly, so it's JANELNELLIE, and then Angels is Ariam Aquila, right?
Yep, Ariam Aquila, spelled AUREUMAQUILA. And what we decided on doing it on Saturdays?
It depends, because I go to the chiropractor on Saturdays, and so we'll figure out a schedule, but we have to figure out. But most likely it'll be once on the weekends and one weekday, depending on how things go in the next couple weeks. But we'll start with a weekend day, whether it's Saturday, Sunday, and we'll go from there.
Today, as we're recording this, is Sunday, so
this Saturday. So tomorrow, when we post this.
Tomorrow, when you post this, keep a lookout for our stream, and I will post about it on social media beforehand so that you can get ready. Yeah, I guess if that's it, we can go to the outro.
Yeah, that's all I have today. So you can find us on pretty much all social media if you look up Ghoul Gaming Gals. And if you have any suggestions or questions or just want to talk to us, please email us at ghoulgaminggals@gmail.com. And thank you again, as always, for listening to us and us being very stupid. We love all of you.
Yep. And you can listen to us basically wherever you listen to your podcast. So please give us a rating and a review because we're trying to get this thing lifted off the ground, but we need your help. So tell your friends, give us a review, give us a rating, write a review, give
Make
a rating, give us a follow.
please.
Yeah.
But have a great week, everybody, and thanks again.
And we will talk to you
on the next
week.
one.
See you in 30 seconds.
I was saying. Bye.
Bye.